Highlander decks are definitely going to be tier 1 in Hearthstone. The biggest question is, what classes can utilize the Highlander mechanic to its fullest? I tried my hardest to test as many of the Highlander archetypes as possible, and one archetype that I got asked about the most was actually Highlander Demon Hunter, mostly due to the new Highlander card Kurtrus. So go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel in order to let me know that you guys are excited for Gunslinger Kurtrus, which is one of the only new cards that in the Highlander archetype actually can disrupt for a change, because we really don't see this many Highlander effects where it's like most of them are going to be doing something proactive for you. They have some kind of big bombastic ability that gives you a lot of tempo or initiative, but Gunslinger Kurtrus is actually the very first Highlander card that we've seen that actively disrupts whatever your opponent is trying to generate. So it's less about being proactive for yourself and more so trying to deny possibilities for your opponent. And in all honesty, when I first saw this card, I thought it would be a little bit too difficult in order to pop off a lot of value from it. The biggest reason why I doubted this card at the very beginning is because it felt really difficult in order for 5 2 HP shots to make that much of an impact, because say you're going up against a priest and they have like a 10 HP minion, it's very unlikely that you're going to be able to do anything against big minions in hand. So what this card is probably trying to do, it's trying to really destroy aggressive decks or decks that don't have that many minions, and maybe you hit like the right minion at the right time to where say they only have an 8/8 in hand, you play this card and then you remove the 8/8, and now you have the information that your opponent pretty much only has spells in their hand. So that's one way to look at Gunslinger Kurtrus, to where it kind of gives you information if it doesn't actually destroy anything in hand. Either your opponent either has spells or they have high HP minions, or maybe you just got unlucky with some of the procs. But let's go ahead and take a look at the deck and see what I landed on, because this is probably one of the only Highlander decks that's really going to have a lower curve, unless we're also looking at like Hunter, for example. And just spoiler, I did not make a Highlander Hunter because I'm not really sure the direction the deck needs to be built in order to best complement it. But it's very similar to Highlander Hunter when Dino Tamer Bran was a thing. This deck is actually trying to put a board onto the field and pressure with a lot of damage versus like drawing out the game, very similar to Highlander Druid or Highlander Shaman. But this has a lot of different packages that I believe do complement this very well. If you've seen my other 2 Highlander videos, you're going to start noticing a theme where we have the Ignis, the Eternal Flame, as a package to actually try and kill our opponent. We have the Ogre package, which I believe will work really well in Highlander decks, especially if there's a way of being able to copy it. And that is part of the reason why I decided to put Photographer Fizzle in this deck, because what if I'm able to double up some of the Ogres? What if I can double up the Kingpin Pud in order to make as many boards as possible to where I'm always threatening something? And that's kind of the direction that I believe that Highlander Demon Hunter is definitely going to be going down, because we have cards like the Bartendo Bot that work really well with Midnight Wolf. And you also have Zola the Gorgon in order to make extra copies of either the Gunslinger Kurtrus or the Kingpin Pud himself. And then you have other cards like Argus, the Emerald Star, Gilag, as well as Reno as being your top end, to where Argus can discount your hand, which makes it really easy to argue for Photographer Fizzle combos. You have Gilag just threatening a board by itself. And the way that I look at Highlander decks is that you want cards that are just good by themselves, because if you play them back to back to back to back, like if I start with a Midnight Wolf, my opponent clears it, and then suddenly I play a Gilag of the Abyss, my opponent doesn't have an answer. That is the reason why you just always want a proactive turn every single turn. And because this deck has a lot of ways of generating pretty decent boards very early on, I think it just makes a lot of sense in order to have a lower curve with this deck. I said in the previous video that maybe Yogg would be a perfect complement to Reno, so that way you can play Reno, clear a board, and then play the Yogg in order to steal that one minion that your opponent is able to play. There might be potential for that in this deck because there's not a lot of AoE as well, and Yogg can act as an AoE, but there's just so much pressure and tempo that we're able to generate with a deck like this, to where I'm kind of liking the build that I've started with, but I definitely don't believe it is the best build in any case. But I'm going to be showing you guys a couple of games with this deck in order to show you how pretty smooth some of this gameplay actually is, to where Bartendo Bot being able to fish out the Midnight Wolf works really well in a lot of instances, but unfortunately it is one of the only outcast cards in the deck outside of an I-Beam or a Spectral Sight, so it is technically a high roll, but you still have a lot of pressure in the deck with Astalor, with Ignis, as well as your top end. But one card that I definitely feel like might have a spot in this deck is actually the Flint Firearm, and the only reason why I'm saying this is because we can discount him with the Argus, to where you could probably play this card in the late game and get a bunch of value all at once, or maybe you play Flint Firearm as like a way of getting that last spell that you need in order to deal lethal damage, because that's exactly what happened to me when I went up against a rogue when I was playing Ogre Rogue. They played Flint, they got the exact card they needed, and they ended up winning the game just before I was able to get that last bit of damage. But you have cards like Rust the Stage in order to draw your ogres as quickly as possible. You have Snake Eyes for value, Way of the World as card draw, as well as that important proc with Ignis, so you can get that value. The rest of the deck is just pretty much like early game that is trying to stabilize a little bit with like a 2/2, some card draw effects. You have Sir Finley in case you don't like the draws that you have. But I can already tell you that some cards I'm not 100% sold on are cards like Predation and Saloon Brewmaster. You could probably cut those kind of cards, but my idea with the Saloon Brewmaster was to potentially either bounce the Fizzle, bounce the Snake Eyes, or even bounce the Ignis in some instances. But you could definitely make the argument that wanting to bounce the Kingpin Pud is by far the most important thing. So I feel like going in on one of these types of archetypes could be very good, but you really got to take it with a grain of salt with this particular list, because I don't think anyone is even close to figuring out this very unique archetype, to where I think it's going to be very difficult to find the perfect 30, because we don't know the best way of playing this Demon Hunter deck. Do we go for aggression? Do we go for tempo? Do we go for disruption and almost like a control fashion? There's a lot of ways of being able to play these Highlander decks, and figuring out the perfect build is probably going to be one of the most fun aspects to this deck when we actually get to play it when this set is released. And don't forget, if you do enjoy this kind of content, feel free to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel to be notified about any of our future updates. We have a Patreon over at patreon.com/ClarkHellScream, to where you can get deck optimizations, coaching, as well as shoutouts in future videos. So if you would like to support the content while getting some bonus perks in the process, go ahead and check out the Patreon link down below. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this deck breakdown, and we'll see you for the next video. So just let that reign true. Alright, Highlander Demon Hunter. Yeah, exactly. We don't have time for one game of Highlander Priest on this Theorycraft stream. I would feel more so bad for my opponent that would have to sit there and just deal with it. Alright, well, this is a hand of cards. This is definitely a hand of cards. Also, dude, the fire on this is very well animated. The fire on this is very well done. It, like, actually looks like fire instead of, like, cartoon fire. The worst that he could say is no, Clark. Yeah. Yeah, there are definitely worse things than saying no. So this being on the left is really annoying. I guess I'm just going to play the 2/2 for the body. Okay, yeah, the people that say the worst thing that they can say is no, that's not true. The worst thing that they can say is... actually, the worst thing they can do if you ever ask, like, a girl out is them laughing. That is by far the worst thing that can happen. If you ask out somebody... and then they just start laughing at you, being like, I can't believe you would come up to me and ask me such silly questions. Oh my god, haha. That's the worst. 100% is way worse than no. There are like a million worse ways than saying no. If they laugh, you dodged a bullet. I mean, it still feels bad. I mean, I kind of agree. Like, if they were to be that rude, you're like, wow, I'm glad I didn't, like, pursue that. But it still won't make you feel good at the end of the day. Feel that healing beat. Oh, Lucio. They got the Lucio up in here. I think I'm just gonna play the Ogre. 4 mana, 3/6 with Rush is still really good. It's a number game, Clark. Just ask more people. Okay, yeah, but then my win rate my overall win rate becomes worse. Which one do you want? A 70% or a 10%? Which one sounds better to you? Okay, so it has to be a minion removal, right? It 100% has to be minion removal. I guess I could just test it. I am taking so much damage. I'll take a 1% as long as I find one. Nah, man, whenever you find the one. It's not just about finding someone. It's about finding someone that's a perfect fit for you. This is harassment. See you in court. Oh my god. If I were to ask somebody out... and then that was their response, I don't know what I would do. I would have no idea what to do after a situation like that. Time to light a fire under these pants. Yeehaw! Oh, that was exactly the card that I wanted. Well, I could return this back to my hand. I know I have ogres, but having more value from this seems pretty good. Draw! Going back. Ask, do you know my name? If no, run. My date rate is 100% because I was asked out. See, okay. I don't see this happen anymore, where girls ask out guys. I never see that anymore. Your response would be, it's a date. Quickly drawn Drilly. Yep. Feels bad, but it is what it is. However... I'm gonna overdraw a card now. Alright, well... Next turn, I will discount the minions in my hand. But Titan finally looking good, dude. No, how are you killing that? I didn't think you'd have a way of destroying it. I was so wrong. I was so wrong. I can't target this with spells. Oh wait, this would discard the I-beam.
I grow impatient.
Yo, what's going on, Arca? Good to see you, dude. So I think I want to counter the next minion, so that way I can maybe counter an ogre. Alright, good stabilization here. Can't wait for my catch-up pack so I can try some other stuff other than Paladin, Hunter, and Mage. I can try out Warrior and Warlock. Some of the other more expensive classes. Oh, he's just gonna kill it? Crash of Thunder? Okay. You've randomly found that. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Absolutely fine. Especially now that I drew the Astalar. He hit the jackpot, dude! He hit the jackpot! Oh, I just had fun playing Warlock. Oh, dude, yeah, Warlock decks are usually really fun. Like, I want to try and do a Thaddeus combo, but none of my opponents have let me do it. I think I need to change around the list. Like, having, the info tree is just probably not the way to go. Pocket Sand! Such a funny card. Every single time this card gets played, I'm immediately going to think of the King of the Hill episode. Pocket Sand! Oh, shit. Oh, he's a dragon? I didn't know that. I knew that he transformed, but I didn't realize it was a dragon. I never really looked at the card art as hard as I am now. I just always saw the cowboy hat. Okay, that seems pretty good. Have you tried more Tram and Trains, or more on Sludge? I have not really tried Sludge Warlock. I have not really given it a try yet. Wait, how many ogres have died? Just the one, right? Wait a minute. How does this work? Oh, because, wait. Can Kingpin bring himself back? I'm assuming not, but I'm still just gonna do this because it gives me, initiative. Imagine that being Doomsayer. Still a lot of damage here, mate. He doesn't have Ogre Gang in the name. Oh, okay, that's true. That's true. I just look at the Ogre and it's like, just bring him back, man. 6-7 with Wind Fury. Okay, getting random cards. It's looking pretty nuts, dude. But yeah, I'm you know what? Does anybody actually have a Sludge Warlock? Because Regis seemed to have a pretty good Sludge Warlock. Maybe the archetype's not that bad. Going down swinging. That actually makes him able to kill the big ogre. Oh my god. I mean, I can either go with Firearm or I can go with Astalar. Oh! Well, that just kind of works.
Looks like your luck is running out.
Puffer Fist. Ooh, Stomper's actually not a bad pull. Okay. That kind of worked out. Now I could do, like, this into Ogre in the same turn, and then it's, like, really hard for the Rogue to try and deal with this, because, I mean, I'm bringing back 2 minions. And I can potentially get 12 attack all in one turn. If I'm really lucky, that is. Didn't Segator have one? I think he might have. Okay, so this has to be a jackpot trickster deck. I didn't realize that Jackpot was still available in the rotation. I thought this was an older card. Oh my god, my 6/6s. I thought this would have stuck around for at least a turn. Yeehaw.
That ain't big enough for the two of us.
Put your dukes up, small fry.
Maybe I get lucky? Hit face? Yes! Good Ogre! Yes! I do not miss Jackpot Rogue, neither do I. But it might actually make a comeback. It could very well make a comeback. Okay. Wow. Okay, yeah, like I said, I do not miss this at all. I think I took out the Youthful Brew in this deck. Alright, the Rogue has to clear, and Rogue doesn't have clears. So Ogres just feel like they're going to be insane in Highlander decks if you can somehow bounce them.
Let the Badlands burn.
Okay, so you have to get an insanely good card from this. Miss 1 damage? Wait, how did I miss 1 damage? Did I not swing with my hero? I mean, I already swung with my hero, dude. I swung with my hero into the 1/2 to deal the AoE, if that's what you're talking about. Horse explosion! Fine, eat a fat Reno. Or eat a fat Astalor damage. Oh my god, I mean, at least this was here to deal that damage. Oh my lord, man. Vahan coming in with the follow. Good to have you here, man. I think Ogres only feel good right now because everyone is playing 10 new cards. Not a lot of neutral options outside of Ogres. I mean, I feel like Ogres are going to be really good because unless you have a way of clearing the Ogres, like, if you play them with initiative, it feels really hard to clear them. And all the Ogres seem to be good. Like, you get one that could potentially give you Divine Shield. You have one that has, I mean, it also has Lifesteal on that one. You get 3 damage, or you get to attack a random thing. So that does feel pretty good. Oh, man, they have to come in at the end of the game. Dang it. The Theorycraft stream. They waited a little bit too long, though. This is why I built a pure control shaman as well. I can clear infinite ogre boards. Oh, G-Lag, go for lethal? Is there anything good to do with Mage than Sif? Doesn't really look like it. I played Sif Mage, it seemed pretty good. I've not seen anybody else mess around with Mage. No one else has messed around with Mage. So it's kind of sad.
Have you come for the music?
Close.
Oh, there's the Gunflinger. Alright, not a bad start. Have I found a good Automaton Priest deck? A good Automaton Priest deck is going to be so hard to find, mate. I would say it's very unlikely that that happens. Like, when your deck is dependent on making so many copies of the same card, it's really hard for a deck like that to work. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but that's pretty much how it feels. Okay, you know, I want to make a gang joke, but I feel like that's beneath me. Pip to the rescue. Maybe I get rid of the Pip though, but next turn I'm gonna go out shooting. Bang 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 bang. Wait, what does that do? Oh, he stole a minion from my hand. Got rush. At least something, I guess. What if they don't have minions? I think it is just better to save the coin here. Hopefully I get Divine Shield. Ah, damn it. Dude, I never get it, man. Kibler did okay with Elemental Mage and Titans. Could probably use as a base for a new deck in Theory Crafting. I waste mana? Wait, how do I waste mana? I mean, I think Elemental Mage is maybe okay. But it's like when you compare it to Sif Mage, they are just literally not on the same level. They are just not on the same level, like, whatsoever. It's very sad, in all honesty. With that legendary, I want to return to Thief Rogue. Thief Rogue maybe can be good, especially with, like, jackpots, right? And so I go out shooting. Bang, 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 bang. Oh my god, I killed a Masked Reveler. Oh, dude. That's massive, because they would have wanted to play that this turn. Do they have another one? Get a copy of each card your opponent played last turn? Wait, are you also Highlander, though? If you're not, you have to be Highlander if you're playing that. Alright. I mean, it's gotta be Highlander Priest, right? First of all, there's no duplicates that have been played. Second off, they wouldn't have taken that card unless they can use it. See, no Thunder Pony today? Dude, Thunderbringer got no support in the expansion. Like, we got some elementals, but it's like, there's no reason to run Thunderbringer outside of Rogue. Or maybe Big Paladin. It just is not good. This Priest is running Thunderbringer? Wait, what? 100%? Alright, let me ask the Housewife after this. Why would Priest want to be... Aw, damn it. Titans just never survive, dude. Screw it. I'm mostly just doing this because I'm trying to get the outcast value of my cards. I just want to be able to draw 2 in peace. Maybe I play this next turn? Oh yeah, Grey Pirate. This song, I have been jamming so much to this song in the past week. I cannot tell you how much I love it when you give me new music to listen to, man. The song is just fucking great. It's like Ticks and Leeches from Tool, but they make it their own. And it's like the weird time signature parts still get me. I love this. Don't tell me it's Reno. It's never Reno. Okay, so I'm getting extra value on my minions. After your opponent plays a minion, attack it. Ooh.
If 3 rights make a left. I'm 7 moves ahead of you.
Fight on down, Badlands!
The Earth Mother are upon us.
I see.
Yeah, they deal 3s now. Dude, when G-Lag sits on the field, it is just disgusting. Disgusting! I think she went a little too hard into the Highlander Legendary. I think so, too. I mean, I also hit Masked Reveler. You gotta keep that in mind, dude. I killed the card she wanted to play on turn 6.
Predictable.
It was massive to have that happen. Is there an AoE still? Okay, 3 damage. That's lethal, right? Yeah, it's lethal. Woo! Yo, going on Tic Tac? Good to have you here, mate. Thank you for the raid. Right as we get our second win with the Highlander Demon Hunter. And Arca also coming in with a bit, bro. Good to have y'all here.